This is your host, Gabriel Phoenix. I know the camera froze a little bit. Welcome to another action-packed day. That's right. Give it up for me. Well, talking about today, we already know about the new factions. We're very excited for Gunaba, because y'all know I started in Gunaba in Season 2. And look at that. Gundaba is actually a real thing. No, I will not be going to Gundaba Season 3. I will not be going to Vasgar Season 3. I already made a promise I'm going to go to Ruhan. I'm going to be going to Ruhan, and I'm going to be making a fellowship called the Haradims, or Haradim. That's how you pronounce it, I think. So I'm going to be joining the desert people, and I'm going to be kicking some butt, and we're going to already form an alliance and stuff. What is going on with my webcam? Come on, Razer. Get in the check. Usually it doesn't freeze this much, but I guess I'm just moving so fast. Or maybe I'm just, being too charismatic. Now, I know a lot of you missed me on the doing Lord of the Rings. Don't worry, I'm still doing Lord of the Rings. But I will be taking a small break from Lord of the Rings after today's video, until Season 3 comes out, so I hope you guys are prepared for that. It's only going to be, 6 days away, and then you're getting more content than ever. And then we're going to be doing a lot more content on Lord of the Rings, but I'm also going to be throwing some other games in there, to some sponsorships, getting you guys to see some new exciting things. So let's jump right into it, and let's go over the build that you came here for. That's right, Kamul. So let's jump. Oh, by the way, if you have not played the Lord of the Ring game and you want to download it on your PC or on your mobile phone, and you want a link, there's a link below in the description. Please download it. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't played the game, join us. If you wish to join our servers, if there's room, because now they're actually limited more, you guys can be more than happy. And look forward to the expansion of this channel too. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be very happy to have you guys part of the family, and keep going forward. So let's dive right into it. Let's go. Come on! This guy here, he is one of the ring wraiths. Really great. On Season 1, I used him primarily as my main general, and then I just fell in love with Shadow, and Shadow is been my main ever since. I actually prefer Shadow over Witch King, because, Witch King is super strong, but Shadow is, once you skill him up there, and you get his respect up there to level 9, he is truly a piece of cake. But Kamul is really amazing as well. You don't need to max Kamul out to level 10. You can if you want to get additional skill points, and his unique gear is pretty interesting too. But he's actually a focus damage dealer. So that's what I wanted to, go into. So we'll go a little bit into his story real quick. He is he's actually one of the only ones besides Witch King that we know his origins from. He's an Easterling king who fell to prey to Sauron Inception. The same thing like every other ring wraith. They were deceived, but were they really deceived? They came out to be more notorious, more powerful, and probably weren't that good of a person to begin with if they were seeking power in the beginning. Let's face it, if you're seeking power to defend yourself, to destroy others in such a great way that you're accepting a gift that is supposed to be ultimate power, then you're not really that good of a person, are you? Just saying, you know what I mean, right? And I'm talking to you too, elves. You know better. You had thousands of years over humans, and you still messed up. So, not much knowledge is known to his origins, except for he's an Easterling, which we're going to be going back to his hometown. But he was deceived, and then he, fought, pretty much hunted Frodo. We see him a lot in the movies. We see him and Witch King a lot in the movies, and then we see a couple other ring wraiths in the movies as well. But he's the one that he's notorious for going into those woods, looking over, seeking over that log, and Frodo's not there, and he turns around, and he walks away. That's Kamul. That's the one that we see a lot in. So, like I said, Kamal's status are really good. You can build him as a might. It's pointless because he's very heavily focused. His focus damage and his focus stats are pretty good. So the type of gear that I equipped him is, of course, I do a lot of focus, but I did a little different with the black mace because of one reason. I wanted to build the Morgul's archers with him. Really good with Kamul is the Morgul archers. The poison damage with Kamul is phenomenal. Highly recommend that unit or building. So that's why I put the black mace on there, because it does increase their attack and it makes them have more damage capabilities. Plus he also gets some might damage, so you can hit a little bit harder. I did a little might and focus on the golden skin. Now you don't have to do the golden skin. It truly is the best one. I put the one that gives him more evade. Like his units get more evade because he already has an avoidance skill that helps your units really skip out. My nose is kind of itchy. But really has an avoidance skill because it does give them a good chance, and this is just giving them 5%, so I like that. Improving the shroud ability to avoiding damage, so that's something that I really do like about it. But this is his main. I would definitely use this on him 100%, is the Tapper Hood. The Tapper Hood is amazing for him, especially if you're going with the Morgul Blasters, or Argon Blisters, I think that's how you pronounce it. Just call them Morgul Archers. They're the ones that do poison damage. They're the only true archer of evil faction. Snipers, you don't use snipers. But this cloak is amazing. Not only gives your units, your commander, more focus and speed, a ridiculous amount of speed, 22, but it also gives range +2 attack. You're doing more poison damage with the poison boost on there. I haven't maxed this out quite yet because I've been focusing on Shadow's gear and leveling that up. And then, of course, you want to get is the Bone Talisman. That's a +20 focus. You're getting speed, as well as if you put Evil Man, you can do Siege. I would have put a different bonus of stats, but I just didn't have one at the time. And then I already leveled this, and I didn't feel like redoing everything. That would be a waste of time. But yes, that was something that you want to be able to use. His speed is actually quite good. 223 for the one I have. That's actually really good speed. So he mostly hits fast, hits hard. Now, I will say he is a strategist. He doesn't have a subtype. I will say this. He, as a commander, he does decent amount of damage. But it's not like a TKO damage like Luz or Shadow or Witch King. Well, Witch King doesn't do direct damage. What am I talking about? Or Sauron, I should say. Because Witch King, he's just a unit booster. He's not really, personally, he's not a high damage dealer. But he does really good, though. You can build him pure focus damage, and it will do a significant amount. But that's not his best build on him, so I'll show you both builds. And we're going to show you his attack power and stuff like that. So, let's go into his ability. So, this is how I would build him. My personal favorite way of building him, which I learned from a good buddy of mine in the game, Legend, because I was having troubles, because I originally built him with Shadow of the East, and then I did Shadow of the East with Ring Wraith. And then I did the Max Screech with Morgul Poison. Now, that's a really good build. You put pure archers on him. You put mountain trolls. They do wonderful. Wonderful. I mean, really good mountain trolls with just about, I think it's 5,000 or 6,000 archers. And you will see the damage significantly. But it's not the best build. You will win a lot, and if you need to do damage, because some people don't like doing the focus damage and stuff, But what I did here is I kept the focus here, kept the poison, kept the screech, so he can still do consistent damage. I mean, he's not going to have as many as attack and doing minimal, and plus doing the crazy rush, which is right here. This gives them an immediate initiative, so he gets to strike first. That's actually a pretty good skill. Plus, he ignores the target evasion, which is also a really good skill. But I lose all this, but what I gain is that I'm giving more focus to all my melee units. So automatically I'm switching the type of build and I'm using Alchemist. And then what I'm doing is increasing defense, and then I'm giving the avoidance to the lowest lowest defense of units. Which, if you're running Alchemist, you could definitely do that. Uh, that's something that I would really particularly favor because it does the best. His R5 completely useless. The Black Easterling, not the best. You could do a lot better. You know, if you've been watching the channel, you see I've been evolving different builds, and probably we're going to keep on doing different builds as seasons come to be, because there's just so much being thrown and so much changing, so much gear changing, so much extra systems, so many points that you can just acquire from here to there to there and here, and get extra skill points so you can make it better and do triple the amount of damage, do triple the amount of threat. That is something that I'm going to do. My next goal for season 3 is to make Shadow level 25. Maybe we'll get Kamul to maybe level 10, but definitely you don't really need to level up beyond R5. You don't really need to gift him. Kamul really does come with pretty much a good utility altogether. He's just really, really solid for the type of build that he has already placed on him, that you don't really need extra. I guess if you were going to max him out to R20, and he's level 44, so I'm missing 6 points, so I'll just do 1. I would do Shadow of the East. I don't really like the Black Easterling because honestly, in Evil Faction, focus damage is the way to go. Focus damage is what we have the advantage over the good faction, and that's how you're going to win your battles. Definitely 100% on that. So let's go into some units for him. So I already have prepped this way ahead of time. Right here. I did the Mountain Trolls and Alchemist build, so that way you guys can fully see how it works. We do got some enemies here. We got tons of Rohan here, as well as we got Gundor. And we're just going to have some fun. We're just going to have some fun and beat everybody up and do everything like that. So, let's choose a target and then I'll go over the units. Oh, look at that. We got some gold. I mean, we got some silver tokens. 200 here. Boom. Totally forgot about this today. Oh, yeah. Then you get free pull here. Got nothing good, of course, like always, because the rates in this game are terrible. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so let's send Kamul out and do some damage. Who do I want to go after? Looks like everyone is not home. Oh, right here. There you go. We're going to send Kamul out here. And I also have that Sauron build that I wanted to show everybody. So we're also going to show Sauron as well. I'll send Sauron somewhere else. Let's see here. We got Gundor there. Gundor. There also was a Lindal too. Agmar's there. Where can I go from here? Yeah, too far. Too far! Okay. So in 4 minutes he'll hit there. So let's just attack. I mean, there's just so much. Oh, here we go. Let's attack here. Right? with the Sauron, because I did promise you guys to show you some Sauron, and then we'll definitely do some Undying as well. We'll send Undying here. We'll send Undying as well, because I wanted to show you guys that build. And then we'll just have some fun here. We got some mammoth build right here. Let's send some Witch King. And we'll send some Shadow. Okay, so let's take a look about what units that we're going to be using while they go march and all that other fun stuff. We're just having fun. They're all going to freak out anyways because I'm attacking out of nowhere. But who cares? We're making content here, people! Alright, so let's go into the units. Oh, look, I didn't even collect my gold today. It's end of the season. What do you expect? All this stuff, pointless. So, we are gonna... I would highly recommend the Morgul Poison Archers. They are really good with Khamul. Really phenomenal because Khamul naturally has a poison buffer anyways, and he does poison damage. And it just works really well with the continuous damage with Khamul. These guys are hands down the best. A unit staple with Khamul is Mountain Trolls. I would definitely do Mountain Trolls. Let's just max them out here. Definitely Mountain Trolls. They will take the attention away, give your weaker units, and you're increasing their defense. So they're naturally 66 defense. Imagine plus 35, and you already have over 100 defense on Mountain Trolls, which is pretty ridiculous. I gotta admit that. That is pretty good. They are phenomenal with Khamul. Definitely hands down one of the best things to use for him. Then, of course, if you're gonna do the best build is Mountain Trolls and Alchemists. The Alchemists do phenomenal amount of damage to the enemy. You have a burst damage because they're doing more damage with your Ring Wraith ability. You're increasing your defense by 35. Now they do lose out with the poison double attack, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you're doing ridiculous on the single attack one. But Alchemists can be weaker in defense than the archers. I mean, you could mix them too. You could do Alchemists and do the archers on the same team, but it's better when you focus on one or the other. I highly recommend if you're doing your poison build and you're focusing on pure focus damage with the power of the Easterling, I think that's what it's called, and the Ring Wraith build, you're going to focus on Mountain Trolls and Archers. If you're doing the Easterling with the Ring Wraith, definitely do Alchemist with Mountain Trolls. Now, the third unit you can use is Fell Beast because you do increase their poison damage. They are consistent. They continuous damage. I only recommend doing Fell Beast if you're going pure focus damage and you are actually doing his poison build because you're going to get more continuous damage stacking on the poison with the Fell Beast than you would with the Easterling, which only gives avoidance, which you don't really want to, lose your avoidance to anything else. You want to make sure it's focused on your main unit. And those are really the only units. Yes, you can build a mount build on Kamul. You could do a Ring Wraith and the fifth skill. I think it's called like Sword of the Easterling. You can build Raiders and you can build Dragoons and you can focus on doing a pure mount build that's immune to madness. That is not the best. I don't recommend doing that. If you're facing evil factions and you're having troubles with madness and you're facing like Witch Kings or something like that, then you can do that. It's a counter build. Not very viable for anything else except for just madness, especially if you're fighting like Sauron or even the new commander. Oh, look at that. They're already done? Is he already done? Okay, so right here, oh, we're fighting a level 50. Of course, it had to be a level 50, and it had to be the guy who's like pure 50 damage. But we'll go into it, and that way we'll show you guys exactly what it's about. So, ba 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 ba. So Rowan is gonna go ahead, exceeding leaders. Ba ba ba. Now these guys get a super big burst damage in the beginning, so that's probably what happened. They rolled over my trolls, or my trolls didn't get the aggro when fighting them to be able to get the. No, they did. They got the aggro because they're all fighting the trolls. I think he overhealed. That's what he did. Wow. Yeah, he might have overhealed all of them. So that's for the character. Alchemist at 9,000. Boom. Okay. And alchemists are doing okay. They could do more damage. Them doing 9,000 is not a lot of damage, especially if there's 5,000 of them. Okay, there's the 12,000. Yeah, I was right. So they solidly hit the mountain trolls, and right there, yeah, the mountain trolls are getting beaten. They're getting tons of damage on them, 20,000 damage, and he's healing like crazy. And that is, I'm gonna admit that biggest problem with Kamul, he doesn't have any anti-heal. So if somebody heals out, then you can't really do anything. But I do highly recommend. This is why I like using the archer build more. But this is the build that you will win more battles with the alchemists and mountain trolls. But the archers are definitely, in my opinion, I like them a lot better. They do a lot better. They can constantly do continuous poison damage, and it's something that is really, really good. I really highly enjoy. I wish I did a pre-battle to show you guys that. But how did we do over here? That drew. Oh, that didn't change. Kind of weird. It's not showing. And then we have Gandalf. Oh, look at that. Total victory. Witch King. Of course. Of course it's total victory, Witch King. And then right there, and Shadow did that. What happened to Sauron? Sauron, get your butt over there! Alright, he's about to come. So, pretty much, that's Kamul, but I do highly recommend doing the archer build. They are phenomenal. The alchemist build is what is well known, and it does work, does a lot of damage. You're doing sustained damage, like that's a level 44 Kamul versus the level 50. So you're doing a lot of, excess damage. You're taking a lot of their tier 4. I mean, just when you go here, like we took out we took out half of their tier 4s, which is going to cost them a lot in resources. It's their tier 3s that barely got damage, but their tier 4s soaked up most of the damage. Ooh, and of course we have to fight Eleanor. It's so hard when they heal so much. It's fine. They're like in their 40s. But this is the build I was telling you guys in my last video. Check that out if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend you go see that. Now in this case, we just drew a very unlucky card. She heals crazy amount, and I think we didn't get. I think she has immune to madness as well. That's like the worst. That is the worst matchup, by the way, for Sauron. Is this girl right here? She definitely, I think she does have immune to madness, but she is just crazy going in there. But yeah, Kamul is such a great commander, especially if you're opening in season. Like, here we go. We'll show a little bit. That way you guys can see the damage output. That's with Sauron. she's damaging again. Another 8,000. And then heal. Bum, bum, bum. There you go. 12,000 damage. Burn. Boom. Hit. And yeah. They're all gonna be like, what's going on? Why are they attacking? But yeah, those are what I would recommend doing, is getting your mountain trolls and then archers. Those are the one I like a lot doing. It is a really good build. Like I was saying before with Kamul, if you wanted to do him pure focus damage, I would definitely do it like this. You're gonna do the Shadow of the East. Ring Wraith. I'm gonna max out the Shadow of the East again. Definitely get your Screech. You want your Nazgul Screech up all the way max, and you also want your Poison max. The reason is because they're gonna stack on top of each other. Your Poison continuous damage will stack on top of your Focus continuous damage. So those two will continue to burn together because they're two separate damages. They do not interfere with each other. And then, of course, you want your Poison damage here. Now, I wouldn't max out the Shadow of the East. The reason is because when you're fighting units with high damage, it does work out really well. And if you have like some marks, you want to make sure you max these out first. So I would do 14, but if you have extra skill points, of course, you can max it out if you're fighting high defense units. But I don't like doing that, because if you do fight a unit that has lower defense and less HP, you're going to wipe them out. Now, usually you do the high defense when you're fighting things like mount units that only have 50 troops per unit, compared to like things that have 100. But there's a reason for that, because they have 50, they have higher HP compared to a unit that has 100, and then you're just trying to wipe them out. But this is the second build I would recommend. I used this in season 1. It did wonderful. I would definitely go ahead and do, where's my Kamul? Here he is. Okay. I would definitely do this. This is one of my favorite builds to do. Oh, got no mountain troll. Here, let me quick do this. These are only available for this season. And then boom. And cure this up. It's fun when you have all these like things from all the seasons. You can go 10 seasons over. Okay. So. But again, my favorite build is this. Take out the Alchemist. Put this here, 50. Put that. Boom. That's the units I like to use on Kamul. But the Mountain Trolls with Alchemist, a lot of people use a lot. They do work. I fought a lot of people with it. I have used it personally. It does work. But my favorite one is the Mountain Trolls with Archers with Kamul doing the pure focus damage build. That's the one I had most success with. It does work when your allies have more focus damage. So if you have your remaining skill points, I would definitely put it in second in command. Avoidance is okay, but avoidance, it works with Mountain Trolls. You know, when their Mountain Trolls fail, that's when it becomes more effective, and the defense boost is definitely nice. But second in command is really good to use when you have your spare skill points. Definitely highly recommend putting that, because when you're dealing damage, so in that last battle, let's look at the statistics here. So they received 136 damage, and they had 432 wounded, but they total heal they had was 35,000. 35,000. So they definitely did more damage. That's to be expected because all these guys have a what they call is a 50%, 56% boost during during the first turn, and then it starts diminishing, which is ridiculous. They're tier 4. They're tier 4. Rohan tier 4 is just ridiculous. And then their tier 3 cavalry does the same thing, but it only works on one time, and it's a 50% damage boost, which is ridiculous. And of course, they have cataphracts. The melee units may not be effective for them. That's why I said that battle was the worst, because alchemists are melee units. So when you fight things like this, you're automatically going to do a significant amount less damage. But when you have the archers, which not a lot of people have anti-archers anymore. Mostly evil faction plays anti-archers because of the elves, but not a lot of people play anti-archers. You're gonna have a better time because you're gonna fight them. You'll be able to do better. And if you want, you can throw fell beasts in there and have a good time. So, thank you all for watching. That is the build for Kamul. That's what I would highly recommend. Yeah, if you ever want to see my channel again, you have to subscribe and like. I'm gonna still be around. But I am taking a break, like I said. Season 3 is in 6 days. I'm gonna be doing other games because I know once season 3 starts, we are gonna just be non-stop playing this game, and it's gonna be crazy. Especially with the 2 new factions, and there's new systems and new commanders coming out. Heads up, just so people want to know, how is this commander here? He's pretty new. I'm not going to do a build this season. I will do it for next season because I haven't really figured him out that much. But I would recommend doing him like this. For those people who are current in season who have him, this is the best build I have seen him with, which is Ringrave, Catastrophic Command, and Catastrophic Dwarf. Of course, you're gonna max this out with Faint. You want your Screech, and then of course you want to build up his Madness, which is Consequences of Greed. I just did that as a bonus for the extra like this because we haven't finished building him. And there's a lot to do as far as what units to put on him. He's definitely interesting, and he does have a potential to be really good. But out of all the Ringwaves, Shadow's one of the best. Kamal's the second. And then, of course, Witch King is S tier, so he is a legendary. I don't consider him as a Ringwraith. I consider him as Lord of the Ringwraith. But again, thank you all for watching. I highly appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave in the comments and we'll go over any builds you want. See you later. Have a good one.